Oh. Yes. That's a good one.
Today I'm going to be doing some coloring in a book. A children's coloring book. This Disney princess coloring book looked like a real catch. 288 pages. That's quite a bit of options. There's a lot of princesses. A lot. 95% princesses. Design your own princess outfit. I'll definitely be coming back to that one.
Yes.
Help Jasmine navigate through the city streets. Make sure to avoid the guards. I thought they had a flying carpet. Bald princess representation. I like that. It's a good book. It even includes stickers.
Yes.
It's just so cute. I hate it. That's why I decided to paint it evil. I've seen a bunch of these coloring book videos popping up. I think it originally started with ADCArtAttack. I'll link his channel down below. All of these professional artists are giving it a try, and I thought to myself, hey, I know how to color. I like coloring books. I'm not a professional, but I just didn't want to feel left out, so I'm doing it anyway. There was a villains book I saw, but I didn't grab it because it's already evil, and where's the fun in that? I wanted the challenge of turning something cute into something evil, and I don't know. I didn't want to just color in a coloring book. I wanted to make it my own, kinda give it my own evil, cartoony twist. I thought this would be pretty easy.
Sounds simple enough.
But it actually took me quite a bit to come up with a concept. I didn't want to just make the princesses look angry or give them black clothes or draw a mustache on them. I wanted to add to the page and make it more my kind of aesthetic. After flipping through this book, I realized I'm not really into princesses. And I don't want to color on them. I don't usually do anything with people very much. I mean, I've drawn me and my girlfriend on the rare occasion, but I just don't really like drawing people. It's just not my thing. I prefer animals or creatures or monsters. Also, Disney's style of drawing and animation is very different from mine.
Oh, that's a good one.
So it was really hard trying to force my style onto Disney's already existing work. Things were not looking good, but I really wanted to make this work. I eventually came across this page. These two little mice from Cinderella are perfect for what I have in mind. But the thing about these pages is they're very thin, so your material options are limited. You can't use markers or more specifically Posca pens because you'll just ruin the next 5 pages behind it. It really limits your options. Chloe Rose Art also did one of these videos, and she did this really cool thing where she transferred the coloring book page onto a piece of wood. And I thought that was a really cool idea.
I didn't even know you could do that.
So I decided to give it a try. You basically scan the coloring book page and then reverse the image.
That doesn't sound good.
You gotta just flip it the other way and then print it out. Just normal printer paper and ink, nothing fancy required. After that, you just Mod Podge the slice of wood. I've got a nice thick slice here.
Come in.
Hobby Lobby chopped it down themselves. Once you have a nice thick layer of Mod Podge on, you just stick the image onto the wood and wait for it to dry. I didn't know how long to wait, so I just blow dried it for a minute and then got tired and took a nap. After I woke up, I figured that was long enough, so then I took a damp towel and dampened the whole back of the paper and scrubbed all the paper off. It did make a bit of a mess. My girlfriend was vacuuming all the little paper crumbles as I was scrubbing them off, so it didn't get all over the place. For those of you that think my girlfriend doesn't exist, I have no idea why you think that, but I'd like to point out that you can see my 2 hands in frame, so clearly my girlfriend is the one moving the vacuum. I'd like to submit this as proof for her existence.
Thank you for vacuuming, Cutie Pop.
You're welcome.
If you're new here and you've ever seen a vacuum before, you should consider selling your soul to me by subscribing to my channel and ringing that bell thing so you don't lose me on the internet. I post new videos
every Friday.
Anyways, moving on. I guess I should start coloring at some point. That's kind of the whole point of this video. But before going in with any color, I first sketched out some little alterations I wanted to make to the page. I'm starting off by fattening up their tails. Just some meat to make them look more rat-like and savage and stuff. I also added some, circles here and there that I thought were necessary to show off their inner dark side. he's like showing off one of the circles and the rest are just piled up around them, things will make more sense in a second. And since the chubby one is wearing a crop top, I thought it would only make sense if his stomach was exposed, so I'm drawing that in. It's now reaching its full hairy belly potential. The mice were looking too well groomed for my liking. I wanted them to look more disheveled, so I added little poofs of hair sticking out here and there, especially on the chubby one.
The hairier, the better.
I could have just redrawn the whole page in my style, but I felt that would defeat the purpose of coloring in a coloring book. I wanted to work with what's on the page and add to that, kinda just build onto it. The chubby one's eyes were originally closed, but I thought he would look even more excited if I added in some pupils. Their teeth were also looking too perfect, so I turned them into buck teeth. I will make them look a little crazier later on, make them more jagged and uneven, but for now these buck teeth are okay. I also found that a large portion of you really enjoy cartoon blood, so I splattered some of that around as well. This is just the sketching process, so things aren't reaching their true evil potential quite yet, but they will once I start painting and filling everything in. I don't know if you can tell, but the balls are supposed to be eyeballs that they collect, and I think the chubby one really enjoys eating them. He seems particularly excited for this eyeball for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe it belonged to a severe sparkle butt. I heard those ones taste like rainbows. The one on the left is holding a butcher knife. That's just his cooking utensil of choice. So I guess I should do some coloring now. Normally the Cinderella mice are this cute brown color. But I figured mine would look even more evil and rat-like if I painted them gray, kinda like Chuck E. Cheese. Except I'm not going for Chuck E. Cheese level of creepy. Been there, done that. This, piece is supposed to be a sprinkle of deranged craziness. Just a little off the top, not too much. I made their chubby little tails pink, of course, and filled in their ears and belly. The Cinderella mice are expert tailors, hence the spool of thread. That explains why the mice were wearing clothes, even though normally in nature they go commando. One of the rats is wearing like a lab coat. Apparently he's a professor. No degree involved, all experience. I was pretty much going one color at a time, so I filled in all the little white spots. Some crooked teeth, some eyeballs, all the eyeballs laying around.
All the goods just piling up.
In my original sketch, all the eyeballs were supposed to be hoarded behind the chubby one, but when I was transferring this to the wood, I didn't leave enough space behind him to put as many eyeballs as I wanted, so it's fine.
It's fine, it's fine.
They're just kinda everywhere, and I think I like that better. They're sharing the loot.
Sharing is caring.
I then splattered blood everywhere. Before the Sparklebutts theorize it's strawberry jam around their mouths, I'd like to clarify that
No.
the rats have, in fact, been eating the eyeballs.
Ew.
I thought it would be funny if they wore some black and white jail stripes, kinda like they escaped from prison for, eating eyeballs, I guess. They're not human eyeballs.
That would be gross.
They're probably like fish eyeballs or something more edible. I don't know. I wasn't entirely sure what to do with the spool of thread, so I just left it as a reminder of their past life, their Cinderella days. They were put out of business when everyone started recycling thrift store clothes, hence the change in profession. All the eyeballs are blue and green eyes. None of them are brown. That wasn't intentional, but I guess they spared anyone with brown eyes, so that's nice of them. The rats themselves don't have brown eyes either. It's almost as though they put their victims' eyeballs into their own eye sockets, but that's just speculation. Don't go spreading rumors. I started going through and outlining them, which was a bit of a mistake at this point. I guess I got too excited. I got ahead of myself. I should have outlined them after coloring the background. That way I wouldn't have to do as many touch-ups, but that's alright. The reason I wanted to put a background color is because there's some little bites taken out of their ears, and I had to cover up the black line that was originally there from the coloring book page. I guess I could have just touched that part up with a wood color marker, but I didn't want to. That would be too easy. Instead, I used some light blue paint and a Posca pen to go in and fill the background. I wanted it to look like they're standing on a wood floor, so I painted it brown. Now that that's all done, I can go back in and touch up all the outlines and add in more little details. I also added hair on their tails. I figured it just made it look more gross, and I thought that was funny. Normally I do a matte varnish. This time I went for a glossy varnish. I felt like it would look cool with a bit of shine to it. I feel like the glossy varnish makes it look more finished.
I like strawberry jam. Click on the top right or bottom left if you don't want my rat friends to eat your eyeballs.